Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. I've been doing a lot of thinking recently about the moments that I decided to change my life. You know, it's almost 4 years now since I took my last drug and drank my last alcoholic drink. And that decision to change, whilst being the most challenging and hardest thing I've ever done in my life, has become the single greatest thing I've ever done in my life. The best thing I've ever done in my life, for those I love, for myself, for every single aspect of my life, which has improved immeasurably. You know, it's very easy to be glib and say, you know, you've got to want to change, and that is true to a certain extent. But I was 25 years abusing my body, hiding from pain, numbing it, hiding from my emotions, living in this shadow world where it was easier and more comfortable to hide from the real world and the real feelings and the pain than it was to contemplate change. And eventually, as these things do, when your tolerance levels increase, it becomes not just a psychological addiction, not just about hiding from pain, but a physical dependence. And it escalated and escalated and escalated until I had days where I thought, I thought about change every day. I wondered what I was doing to myself, but those feelings and that wondering would be overtaken and destroyed by the physical need for the drug and for the alcohol, not just the psychological need, which of course was immense as well. And then my day would disintegrate into its normal black hole of despair, depression, surviving, using every bit of nous I had just to find money and to satiate that physical dependence for the drug and alcohol. And that's where it leads you to, inevitably, however bad your addiction or your alcoholism is. And I'm sitting now on, with 3 weeks to go before I set out on another massive challenge, which please read about. Click the link below in the description, it'll tell you all about it. And that is another massive challenge where this change has now led me to 4 years later. And, and it's got me, this is why I'm reflecting on change now, because I never imagined the point I'd be at now 4 years ago, or 4.5 years ago, when I was contemplating this change. And it is a want. You have got to want to. It's difficult, and for a lot of you out there, who are still in heavy addiction, or you're contemplating change, or you're in withdrawal, etc. It's not just about change. There's a lot of processes to go through. It's not easy. It is bloody hard, and you need to be a warrior, and you've got to fight with every fibre of your being. And there's a video on this channel for every stage you need advice on. If my experiences will help you, and I hope they do, please subscribe. Change, it's not just about, first of all, you've got to understand, or you've got to know that you need to change. And most addicts know they need to change, although they'll blot that feeling out on a daily basis when they're using. But there'll be a point every single day you're in addiction, in that darkness, where you'll know in your heart, in your gut, that you need to change. And then comes the hard, really, really hard part, which is the want. And sometimes that want has to be a life or death decision. For me, it became that, because for over 25 years, I damaged myself, a slow suicide. I damaged and psychologically hurt all those people in the world I cared the most about and loved the most. I hated myself, so I could push that to one side. You know, the damage I was doing to myself, to my health, to my mind, to everything, I could push to one side. But there's only one way it was leading, and only one way it will ever lead, addiction and alcoholism, and that's to the grave. So for me, and I hope you reach the decision before this stage, that you need and want to change. For me, that desire to want to change has to be so strong. It has to have roots in the ground. You have to be able to dig in and use it for the change. For me, it was a realization that I wanted to live more than I wanted to die. And that was a sudden realization when I realized just what I had in the world. Those that loved and supported me, because without their love and support, even at that stage, I would have been dead. I wouldn't have had a roof over my head. I would have been sleeping on the streets and dead. And I suddenly realised, you know, that I wanted to live. I wanted to see my daughters get married. I wanted to see my grandchildren. I wanted to experience adventures like the one I'm setting out on in 3 weeks' time. I wanted to live. I wanted to breathe, to love, to feel. And all those things that had numbed me for all those years, I wanted rid of, and I wanted to live. And that desire was so strong. It was then that the next stage came to me, and that was the seeking of help, and for mentors, and for advice, and for support. And for those of you out there who are worried about support from their family, you have to be honest. You have to sit them down, and it's bloody hard. You have to tell them the absolute truth of where you're at, what you're doing to yourself. And you beg for their help, you know, and they will help you. They will love you and they will support you. If they're a tight-knit family like mine certainly were. So then you seek mentors, you seek support, you seek help, whatever that may be, whatever you need around you. So you want to change, you need to change, you want to live, you seek support. And they're the stages that will dig you out of the shit. However impossible you think it is now, it's not. 56 years old after 25 years of serious abuse, and I'm the healthiest, strongest, fittest I've ever been in my life. In 3 weeks' time, I set out to walk 1,000 miles in 50 days. And that's to help other people if I can and raise awareness. It's a new life. It's a new adventure. Please live it. It's as Lao Tzu said. You know, as Lao Tzu said, sorry, it's gone from my mind now. If you change what you are, you become what you may be. And you can be great. And you can achieve anything. And you can do this because you're a warrior, you're strong. Sometimes you have to have strength to be in addiction, never mind to get out of it. So please change your life today. Even though you're thinking about it, make today the day you do it. Carpe diem, seize the day. Much love to you all. Please click the link below if you can. Have a read through about my forthcoming challenge and help if you can. Much love and thanks for listening. Thank you.